What up, y'all? What it do? I'm Miss Indigo Blue. Thank you for stopping into my channel, The Mother's Garden. Here on this channel, we do new and full moon readings, monthly money and love readings, as well as weekly guidance and impromptu channel chit chat. Of course, with each tarot reading is going to be some channel chit chat. Today, we are doing a reading for the full moon of June 5th, 2020. This full moon is in Sagittarius and it is also an eclipse. So this is a energy that I hope that you started preparing for before it got here. The weekly guidance did kind of go over a little checklist of things that you could be looking into, as the new moon offered us a new beginning. And if you decided to take on that new beginning, there were some things you needed to eliminate in your life, and the weekly guidance would have helped you to kind of look back over your life and see maybe where you have married yourself to some things that are not quite of your energy signature and might be needing to be discarded from your life at this time. And also in this full moon, where I was led to read, it spoke about building a temple. And of course, we all know that our body is our temple, but our homes can also be our temples. Our communities can be our temples. Our places that we gather with family and friends can be our temples, because if you give these places a strong enough place value and you put enough love into those places, then they are a place where people can come receive love, give love, and there's just a flow of love there. As long as there's that flow of love there, that makes that place a temple. So when people say that you're not treating your temple properly and they're speaking about your body, when you know that you're not eating the right foods to properly fuel your body, you're not getting enough sleep, you're not being around the right environments or the right people, especially when you do these things knowingly, then you are sacrificing the state of your temple, you're sacrificing the state of your happiness, and you are not acting towards yourself in a manner that shows love. And so that's what we want to focus on right now. We want to focus on getting rid of all of those things that doesn't say love in our life. So if it doesn't say love, it shouldn't be here. If it's something that makes you hurt or gives you pain, you need to go ahead and dig it out, look it face to face, decide when you allowed it to be attached to yourself and become part of you, and then create a plan right now as to how you are going to remove it. Everything doesn't have to be done right now. Right now is a very good time for planning. So if in the new moon we decided, okay, there's a new avenue, a new way, a new path of purpose, a new way of doing things that I'm supposed to be walking into, and I am going to say that I'm going to put that robe on. I'm going to wear that robe and I'm going to walk in down that path. If you've decided to do that, then that means that you've also decided to go and take a look at what you cannot take along that path. And so when I started going through the exercises, I did end up coming across one place that still in my life really made me hurt. And so far, I'm glad to know that the work that I've been doing over the last couple of years has actually worked, because those places, when I revisited them and I thought about them, there was no feeling of sorrow, there was no feeling of pain, there was no feeling of regret. Just this one little place. And the thing about that is, at this current time, I feel like there's such a grand opportunity for me to erase that sorrow and see the best thing about it is it's not a person who's already gone. It's a person who's here, and I can create a whole new bond with. I can do some things with that I haven't done before, that I feel is my duty. I feel like the title that I have with this person, that God gave me a duty to them, a responsibility to them. And so therefore, I'm going to make sure that on this new path, that the relationship that I had with them prior, that they have a better understanding of my actions in it, and that going forward, I make sure that they know that their voice is heard and valued. A lot of us, especially people who are spiritual and have a higher knowledge, don't allow people that space and that room to grow. We're so busy pushing them and pushing them and pushing them and pushing them with that we don't stop for a second pushing them and allow for them to resonate, allow for them to marinate in that space so that they can resonate into the energy that we are trying to present to them. Sometimes we think it's our duty to present information to certain people that we're supposed to learn from. And so we have to understand it's always coming and going. It's always ins and outs. It's always a two-way street. It's never just you're the teacher. The teacher always has to learn. The student can always teach something to the teacher. And so both the teacher and the student always have to be open to learning and receiving. So going forward, what does your path look like? Is there someone who on your previous path you really need to reconcile some things with? Do you need to develop a plan that helps you figure out how to speak with this person, how to talk with this person? And also during the weekly guidance, we heard that it's going to be very easy to start at this full moon bumping into those people with this eclipse. And the thing about a full moon is that's when the sun is fully shining the light on the moon so that the moon can totally be exposed. And so when you bump into people that you have maybe some covered or some hidden issues with, this is an ample time for you to speak with them because that exposure is there. At the same time, during an eclipse, it can be a time where information gets confusing. There's still a lot of retrogrades going on. There's just a lot of different energies that are in the air. However, Cancer is very strong in the placements where it lies. And Cancer is about family. Cancer is about loved ones. We all know that sometimes that there's people who aren't your blood, who are your family. And so even if it's just a close friend, an old friend, even if it is a family member that is your blood, this is going to be a great time for the coming together and the fixing and the warming of the hearts of those people as well as yourself to repair those connections. At this point in time, what the new moon showed us is that it's time to build new solid foundations. So if you have a rocky foundation with anyone, it's time to repair that foundation. It's time to, if you have a rocky foundation with someone who you know it can't be fixed, we're never going to see eye to eye. We're never going to be able to agree to disagree. I love this person, but I need to move on from this person. Put a design in order to do that with the smoothest transition, right? Because we're in Sagittarius. So we also want to stay in that proper ebb and flow. We don't want to throw anything at anybody, and we don't want to snatch anything from anybody because then it throws people off. We want to keep people in the proper wave, and we want to keep ourselves in the proper wave. So devising a plan to work these things out according to the purpose that they are going to serve is going to be the best method that you can come up with to ensure proper delivery, proper reception, proper feedback, because that's the other thing that you are going to have to be prepared for. In offering this to this person, you have to be receptive to what they give back to you. Make sure that you're ready to do that. Okay, so we're looking at creating new foundations on which we will build something big and strong and sturdy. Okay, so anything that's a loose rock, we either need to find a way to get it surrounded by cement so that it becomes a permanent structure and is included in the foundation, or we need to pluck that rock and remove it and replace it with something else. So we're going to go ahead and first start with the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle. These cards have been pre-shuffled, so I'm just going to go through them just here a couple more times before I split this deck to find out what information it has for us today. To guide us on our path. The card that comes up, oh, I got two and didn't know it. We saw this recently, Play With Me. This might have been in one of the money readings, actually, that Play With Me. And White Mantra, Mother Protects. So Play With Me is a 15, again, a 6 card, which we saw on that new moon reading. Like, once you decide to make that change, and this is where you start building, right? And the 41 is the 5, the White Mantra, Mother Protects. So we're going to actually read 41 first. And we're just going to read a portion of it. Put your mind in the light of the divine. You are protected. Release any fear of being tainted or damaged by the energy of others. The purity of your spirit cannot be harmed. Whatever has been bothering you, allow it to do so no more. Divine protection and intervention is here for you now. Your trust empowers it to work wonders in your world. You're growing spiritually to the point of being able to offer protection to others. It happens through being able to hold a center of energy within, stable enough not to be dislodged or compromised by the fears or doubts of others. Your faith remains true even in the face of another's doubts. You are becoming a stabilizing presence of love, light, and divine power upon the earth. You are helping others more than you perhaps realize, and certainly many of whom you have never met, who are on their own paths, trying to stabilize their hearts and minds in a place of loving serenity and wisdom. Negativity will not triumph in you or your world. If you are worried about a loved one who seems to be traveling along a path that is going to offer them nothing but struggle and suffering, and despite your best intentions to guide them, they persist still, you are asked to hand over your concerns to the Divine Mother with absolute faith. So this is saying that you are protected. Not only that, you have the ability to protect others and guide others. But if there's someone who you are putting your energy into and it just feels like because of their resistance, it's sucking a lot of energy out of you, you have to understand when you've done all that you can do, when enough is enough, and that you just have to let this person, again, go along their own path. So we did some talking about that in recent videos as well, to where we were speaking on, especially when you're a parent and it's your children, are you actually taking away from them by not allowing them to explore their own thoughts, their own feelings, and things of that nature? Sometimes you just need to put the advice out there and let it resonate on them later. Let it dawn on them what you meant, even after they've done something that they probably shouldn't have done. But let them learn, let them live, and let them be on their own path, and don't be hovering over someone, just too strongly. So Play With Me, 15. And I'm going to read a different portion than what you probably heard from this card before. Again, this is what this one looks like. If you've been considering taking up a course, exploring your creativity, learning to dance, or any activity that interests you but is not immediately obvious as a serious pursuit, then you are encouraged to go for it. So now we're back on this new path, trying things that um, really speak to our heart that we haven't tried to before, because maybe we have a little bit of doubt in our own ability. Like I said, that devil energy that a lot of us have is our own selves being scared of ourselves, feeling like I know I can do it, but that but shouldn't be there. If you know you can do it, then go do it. If you think you might be able to go do it, go try, find out, and if you end up finding out, nah, that wasn't for me, that's cool. At least you gave yourself the opportunity. What it was on that list that the 8-year-old you gave to you that you have not pursued yet, that you have not even attempted yet, that you have not even put any thought to or any planning into yet. Plan to do those things that 8-year-old you reminded you were on your list of to-dos. If you don't know what I'm speaking about, go back to the weekly guidance from June 1st through the 7th, and it speaks on talking to the 8-year-old you and bringing up that to-do list that you had as a child, your honest self, your natural self, your before you were probably tainted self. And if you understand that you went through a lot by the time that you were 8, try to step into that space that you went into when you were still just of complete innocence. Speak to that child. Are you feeling in need of a break from a slog or seriousness? Oh, can we add some joy into the life? Make it fun. Remember, we spoke about that too. Have fun while you're doing this. Don't make this such a serious journey. Oh, I'm spiritual, I can't be doing that. Have fun with your people. Have fun with yourself. Have fun with your children, with your parents, whoever is in the vicinity of you. Make sure that you are enjoying them and that they are enjoying you. Smile as often as you can smile, okay? The Divine Mother agrees you need this break. It is time to lighten up in body, mind, and soul. And that's why when we're speaking about our temple and we're talking about those foods and things that weigh us down, those feelings that weigh us down, we have to let go of some of those things so that our heart won't be so heavy. Can you let the weight of the past pain leave your heart and mind? Yes, and thoughts are things. If you keep spinning on that thought and you keep remembering it, and you every time you think about it, you start crying, it's not benefiting you in the long run. Yes, it's good to get that cry out, get it out, and get it over with. But then you have to learn how to move on if you haven't. If you believe that choosing to let go of your attachment to past pain and all you have endured means you will have suffered for nothing, you are being asked to see things in another way now. You have learned from these experiences. You have always done your best and have lived the best way you could. Now, there is another way for you to learn to live. That is all. There is no denial of the value of all that has gone into your life, just an opportunity to consider opening up to a new way being presented to you. So this is where I was saying that our ancestors and our gods and our angels and the most divine is going to be working on all this static, all this stuff that we used to have to fight, and all the stuff that we used to have to worry about. And now it's time for us to play smart. It's time for us to do that chestnut checkers move. And while the enemy is going to have its back this way, fighting with our ancestors, as we do not fight in flesh and blood, we are going to be over here making moves and starting new things and going on this new path. And I'm going to stop right here. I did one video that never made it to the internet, and it was a channeled message, and it was in regard to this virus that's going around. And for a lot of us who are spiritual, we have done certain things in our bodies in regards to food and herbs and exercise, things of that nature that keep us from getting sick. When everybody else usually gets that seasonal flu or that seasonal, we haven't been sick in years. And this time, a lot of us got sick. But the reason why we got sick wasn't because we actually made contact with what was going on or someone that had what was going on. There was a direct hit put out on us. They were looking for us. And what actually happened to us was that our our RNA messenger RNA got changed. And what I was told is that when that messenger RNA got changed, it made us hidden because they were looking for us in a certain energy signature. They were looking for us in a certain way that they were going to detect who we were. Because if there's one thing that we hadn't noticed before this hit was how we as a people were coming so together. We were supporting each other's businesses. We were supporting each other's affairs. We're listening to each other's lectures. We're watching each other's readings. We are and watching each other grow and feeling so much love for that person. Like, wow, over this last year she's really grown in the way that she speaks. He's really been able to make his delivery so strong, and just giving each other accolades. Like this business, I saw it go from 1 to 2 customers a day to where they can't keep, they're selling out by noon. Like watching young people create their own businesses and understanding that I sell lashes and you sell lashes and she sell lashes and we all sell lip gloss, but we all here and we all together and we like, yeah. And then we're even taking our platform and using it to help somebody else create a name for themselves. We were together, and this was a tower that was created in order to bring us and make us fall apart, just like that tower that was created in Jeremiah, just like that tower that was created. They saw us coming together, they saw us on one accord, and they wanted to break that up. But what did we just see in this Gemini season? That the exact opposite of what you're trying to do is happening. And not even just that season, like Mother Earth is here saying, no more. These tricks are no more. And so when she is cradling us, right? When she is protecting us, we are to have no fear. We are to go forward. So many times I have received channeled messages. You know what? Y'all haven't heard them because I felt like people who speak on things like this, they do things to them. And I was letting that put fear in my life. But I can't be scared. I can't be scared. Number one, this is the way that the world is going to. Number one, if you are doing the work of the Most High, you are protected. And that's all you have to know. You and yours are protected. And you are changing things, not only for yourself, but for your bloodline as a whole. You are changing things for your neighborhood, your economy, your community. You are making these changes, and they are going to be reflective not only from within you, but within all that you touch. And how more beautiful can that be? So don't be afraid. Get out here and play with these new ventures. Get out here and explore and use this current energy that this full moon is bringing you to decide, who have I put enough energy into? Who do I need to let things resonate with later? Also, where am I not challenging myself? Am I acting in fear? Am I being afraid of the coulda, wouldas? Not coulda, wouldas, I guess that's the past. Am I being afraid of what could happen? The mights and the maybes? I'm afraid of that. I can't be afraid of that, especially if I am doing the work that I'm supposed to be doing. Then I can move knowing that I am protected. So I'm just going to pull a couple cards and not hold y'all too much longer here. I did pre-shuffle this, but just give it another couple of shuffles. This is a Rider-Waite deck. And I'm hearing, remember to work with the ebb and flow of this Sagittarius energy, and remember to surround yourself with the beautiful Cancerian family warmth heart. And that Sagittarius usually has this very inviting and invigorating smile. So make sure to smile often. Remind yourself that you're playing with some new possibilities, even though you have to take it with a sense of seriousness. You have a freedom right now that you've never had before to be protected in the way that you can be protected and so closely. Okay, so the overall energy is the Death card. And what we have here underneath the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And I just think that that is just saying we can't focus on what's money motivated and death to the old way of thinking, right? The cards that have come out are the Three of Cups, emphasized by the Six of Swords. We have the Four of Wands that we saw in that new moon reading. And we have the Nine of Cups, emphasizing that. The King of Wands, and emphasized by the Queen of Wands. Okay, so one magic thing that ooh, my fan is blowing a little. One magic thing that I'm seeing with this King and Queen of Wands, one magic thing that I'm seeing with this King and Queen of Wands is that they came out here together. And that just says to me that with that Sagittarian energy, that ebb and flow, that the king and the queen, the feminine and the masculine, fire energy to get things started are going to both be within you and working together for you to create this new beautiful foundation, these new reasons to celebrate, this newfound joy. Like, this is all beautiful. If we decide to go out on these new journeys, leaving worry behind, erasing fear and erasing doubt from ourselves, let all those things die. Don't be scared anymore. Go full stream ahead. Get in there and push. Take everything that's meaningful with you. Leave everything else on the shore and go. You are going to realize that when you go out here, if the only things that you have in the boat are the things that are meaningful to you and you get rid of some of it, even when I was talking to a friend yesterday and I was telling her I'm getting this dumpster, and not just to get rid of big things, but all of these little papers. If you think about every single piece of paper that you have in your house that you know where it's at, like, that's a slot in your memory bank that's being filled up with that piece of paper, with that notebook, with that coloring book, with that construction paper, with that printer paper, with the, every single item that you know where it's at, then it's taking up a space in your mind. And when you have all of that stuff in your mind, if you don't let some of it go, leave it behind and move on away from it, then you can't create the space that you need in order to let these cups come in and get filled up with the proper stuff. So this person is happy. They have built a new foundation built on happiness. They are like, I'm not going to worry about how much money is it going to bring to me. That's like the old way. That's possibly the greedy way. I found that when I had all of this, it wasn't bringing me this anyway. And so now you're seeking joy and you're using both your divine masculine, your divine feminine energy within you to get that fire started that's going to activate you into your purpose. And your purpose is just going to bring you so much joy. But in doing that, you do have to succumb to the death of all of those things past that are not going to keep you nourished and happy and fulfilled in the future. So just one more thing I'm being called to do here is to bring out the Archangel cards, and then I will let you go. So if you're interested in having a personal reading, then please contact me at MIB as in mothersgarden.com. You can also schedule your own appointment as in mothersgarden.com. If you click on services, it takes you to my calendar and my scheduling engine where you can book your own appointments, and the types of services that I offer are outlined there in full detail. Alright, so we're going to give this one more pass and see what the archangels have to say to help us to remember some things when times get tough on this current road. So underneath was prioritize, focus on your highest priorities, and it'll help you get organized and motivated. Clear audience. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind and from other people. This is Archangel Zadkiel. So really pay attention, listen, focus in. Again, even if you're the teacher, sometimes you're the student. Make sure you take note of that whenever you're speaking with someone. Listen as much as you talk. Relationship harmony. Archangel Ragiel. We angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. So what a beautiful energy to come out, to let us know that even though it's an eclipse and it's full moon and things can be taken the wrong way, there's retrogrades and all these things going on. We're here though. We're here and we are in support of you, and we're going to be in support of these conversations because you have decided to go on this path and this journey that we have offered to you. And in doing that, we are right here so that things won't get confusing and things won't be misunderstood. So beautiful. And then clairvoyance, Archangel Raziel. I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. How beautiful. So whether it's love of self, others, places, things, some of us, I believe, are in this world and we don't know exactly what we love. What if you don't have a favorite color even? Or you like doing things, but you just don't know what you love. And so that kind of makes it hard for you to steer your boat in the right direction if you don't know exactly what you love. So you're going to be touched by a lot of things in these next few days and probably these next few weeks that are going to open your eyes up to things that you never thought that you would be so moved by, and things that you never thought that you would actually look to doing maybe as a new career, or just, you know, things that help you to navigate yourself into your proper purpose and your proper way of living, and things that just bring you happiness. Play with these new ideas, play in these new opportunities, play with these new and old people. Remember what it felt like when you were a little kid at the family reunion and everybody was there and together, having fun together, loving each other, laughing, watching each other grow. That's another thing that us as a collective, I think we've gotten away from as families, is coming together as a whole group. Not just this person, this sister and her kids, and that brother and his kids, but all the grandma's kids, right? We all got to come together. And so we also have to do that and grow ourselves in our communities and on a collective level. So I'm not going to hold you any longer. I hope that this message resonates with you. Please hit that subscribe button and that like button if so, and if you wish to do this with me again, please ring that bell. I love you and I thank you so much. I'm Miss Indigo Blue. Ebb and flow, ebb and flow. Water. See you later.